All right, construction champions, it's your host, Ron Nussbaum, and we're here for another amazing episode of Construction Champions Podcast, where we're challenging the status quo and burning down the walls around the mindset in the construction industry. I'm here today with another fantastic guest. We're going to have an amazing time. We're going to drop a lot of knowledge. It's going to impact every aspect of your business. Andrew, it's great to have you here today.
It's excellent to be here, Ron. I'm excited about today's episode.
Awesome, man. I'm excited as well. Why don't you take some time, tell all the construction champions out there a little bit about yourself and what got you here to today?
My story starts back September 11, 2001, when I was 23 years old, living in New York City at the time, and the planes had just hit the World Trade Center. And I got this crazy idea that I was going to go down to the Trade Center to help. And I convinced a friend in Rhode Island to come in after a few days after 9/11. And he shows up with a big blue truck and an American flag on the back, and he's dressed up as a tradesperson. And I come down the stairs, and he's got overalls and a hard hat. For me, all of a sudden, I found myself racing down the West Side Highway, going from checkpoint to checkpoint. Then we make it down to the Trade Center. We park the car, and all of a sudden, I look up, and I'm standing on the Trade Center where it once stood, only days after 9/11. And the entire day, I was helping tradespeople and emergency workers find survivors. And I was watching the tradespeople on site run into unstable structures, doing any means necessary to find people in the rubble. And I witnessed this the entire day. And you talk about life-changing, career-changing trajectory changes. I was in IT at the time. And after that incident, I literally quit my job in IT. And for weeks and months, I just had these restless, sleepless nights of trying to figure out a way, how do I give back to the skilled trades? And we ended up co-founding an online tool and equipment business named Toolfetch with my brother, a little over about 22 years. And we're still going strong today. We still love the business. We sell tools to the skilled trades. So professionals such as welders, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and other blue collar skilled trades. And these are the men and women who are building, repairing our infrastructure, our bridges, our tunnels, and our roads. And we reach them by offering one of the largest online tool and equipment catalogs on the internet with over 1 million different products from 650 different vendors. So products like lifts, cement mixers, harnesses, drain cleaners, stuff like that. And that is my way to give back to the skilled trades, dating back over 22 years ago, what I saw. And I'm just playing my part.
I love it, man. That's you give me chills there with some of what you're talking about, and just finding that calling to help serve the industry, you want to make it better. I think a lot of us work our way through not just being in the industry, but also how do we serve the industry. And that's awesome that you found a way to be able to do that, because it's when we truly start to have the biggest impact we can. You can only have so much happen when you're out there in the day-to-day doing that. It's not until you look at the grand scope of things and how can you really affect the entire industry. And I'm excited for what you're doing and the impact that you're having. So
yeah,
I'm going to ask you the $1 million question now, and that is, what makes a construction champion?
It's the opportunity. It's the opportunity of what you can do in the trades today. So I always sort of use the example of, obviously we have 40% of the skilled trades or people in different trades retiring. So they're at that retirement age. There's a good amount of people that are leaving or going to be leaving the industry. This opens up a wide opportunity for people who can come in the industry, and especially with the demand that there is out there. So we have more demand than we actually have people to do the work. So your electrician or a welder or a carpenter or anything in between that's blue collar skilled trades. These skills are necessary to fill these positions for all these jobs that are available today. And we really do a better job on the messaging side to get that out there to young kids, to get them in and interested into skilled trades. And the opportunities are there, right? So I always say that after, I feel like in a couple years, the skilled trades and people in different trades can demand over $100 an hour because they can pick and choose the jobs they want, and they can actually make the money they want. And I hear this consistently from people that I can't find an electrician. I can't find somebody to fix XYZ. And I always say to them, well, of course, they have the amount of jobs, they can pick and choose. They don't have to go to your job. They can go to another job that maybe is more lucrative. And they have a great opportunity in this window of time over the next handful of years, if we don't obviously fill the gap. But it's a great time to level up your skills and to learn a trade and to hook up with somebody who's been there and done that, possibly a mentor, somebody who's been in the industry for a long time and can kind of guide you through and help you through that chain to get you up that ladder.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. The opportunity right now is unbelievable throughout the construction industry and blue collar and the trades to be able to really set your own trajectory to get where you want to go. But you just have to understand where that is and get around the right people. Like you were just saying, find that mentor, find somebody that can help take you there. So I want to dive into the opportunity and how people take advantage of this, because 22 years ago, you were there looking for that opportunity and you found a place where you fit and where you could have a great opportunity within the trades. So what do you think holds people back from going out and chasing that opportunity or figuring out where do they fit the best within the industry?
Yeah, so if a kid has a technical spark, I always say that if they're good with their hands, right? Or what is happening through sort of their journey. So if I'm a kid, I'm 15, 16 years old, I tinker with things, I'm interested in things, but I really don't know what next steps I take. Maybe I can go do this full time. I do feel that when they're in school, when they're in high school, if they take a shop class, that can really excel things. So they get used to working with different tools and doing different projects. Unfortunately, the shop classes are not there as they once were, but hopefully we'll get there. And that's one of my arguments, that high schools and schools should bring back shop classes. And if they do go through that class, hopefully that can get them to the sort of the next step. Oh, I feel like I can be an electrician, or possibly I can be a welder, or possibly another type of trade. But first indicating what are you interested in? What are you interested in doing? And then figuring out from there, is there anybody within your network that is a welder or someone that you know who is an electrician? Can you speak with them? We talked about a mentor, somebody who's been there. So maybe somebody that has been in XYZ industry for 20 years, 25, 30 years. And maybe you can talk to them a little bit further about, what do I need to do? Or what classes do I need to take? What apprenticeships do I need to be in? What trade schools do I need to be in? Can that person work with that person side by side, where they allow them to shadow them so they can say, oh yeah, this is right for me, and taking those steps. So hooking yourself up with somebody who's been there and done that will shave off a good amount of time, I feel. Looking for some type of apprenticeship of some sort to see what companies offer out there. And obviously trade schools, and there are a lot of organizations out there that can help you determine what type of trade. You can take quizzes and tests and things like that to figure out which type of trade works for you. Taking a look at the compensation, what do people make, and where do they make it within the US? Does it make sense for me? And then slowly working your way into possibly a trade school of some sort, going through the process and coming out the other end, and then hopefully getting into more or less sort of the field that you're looking for, and then maybe getting an apprenticeship and then working your way up within an organization that wants to, hopefully you'll have the ability to scale up your level, and hopefully they have a good training piece that they can implement into your development, and sort of the mentorship. They have people maybe on staff who are helpful and open to help you through that. And then, it's just learning the skill set, and keep learning, and be a sponge, and do whatever it takes to take on different jobs, and to just get that knowledge, so you can be eventually the person they turn to be the person to do XYZ job. And then down the road, possibly you can turn into, maybe you have aspirations to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you could be working for a construction company, work your way up, and then be CEO one day. Maybe you want to do your own thing. So there's so many different avenues and opportunities, but never stop learning, and never stop asking questions.
Absolutely, man. That's great. What I love about what you just said there is like, that's all actionable items. That's very well thought out. This isn't just, you're not just pulling to thin air. Like, this is how you do this to get to where you're going. And I love what you talk about when you talk about finding that company that you can continue to grow with and be there. I mean, I went from digging the hose to running the company. And that's just all self-development. It's a leaning into not just what's offered where you're working at, but also going out and just developing yourself, developing those skills. That's what creates that opportunity. And I loved earlier when you said there's an opportunity for $100 plus an hour if we're willing to go get it. And I believe that too. I think there's a lot of guys out there doing it. I think there's guys that do it for themselves. And I think there's guys that are also, I know that there's guys out there doing it that are making more than $100 an hour within the trades. And I know guys that are paying more than $100 an hour for their top talent to be there. So I believe that opportunity is coming. It's here at a smaller scale, but in the next couple of years, we have an opportunity. You can really distinguish yourself and create what most people wouldn't even be able to fathom.
Tremendous opportunity. I always say it and I always preach it. It's out there if you want it.
Yeah. And with, like you said, the mentorships, getting around those right people, there's an opportunity that some of those right people are going to be headed into retirement. And if you do have that entrepreneur mindset where you could just take over their book of business.
Exactly.
So what do you say to guys out there that are struggling with what they're currently doing and where they're at, knowing that we have all this opportunity? We've talked about what it is from that high school level moving in to the construction industry. Let's talk about the guy that's been there, that feels like, is this for me or is this not for me? But we're on the cusp of great things happening within the construction industry. What do you say to them?
So in any career, right? So you sort of hit a wall, and you got to figure out, well, how do I keep moving forward? And like I said, this could be for anything that you do. I'm always a big believer in getting into some type of mastermind, or speaking with other people in the industry, or connecting with people on social media, whether that's LinkedIn or other platforms, and getting into that world of taking ideas, what they've done, things that have worked, things that have not worked, and kind of back and forth conversations between people in the industry. And possibly, and this goes back to mentorship, and also reaching out to people who have been there and done that, who have gone down that road and maybe hit some sort of barrier or wall. I always feel that speaking with somebody who's been there and done that, especially obviously in your industry, would be the focus. But they can maybe just say something to you and be like, whoa, God, I didn't even think about that. I always say, you know what you know, and there's a lot you don't know. right? So getting around the right people and the right mindset, people with the right mindset will get you to that next level. But you have to be open and willing to take constructive criticism along the way. If you're not, that's really hard, because if someone's going to tell you, well, you're not doing this right, you got to be open-minded. If you're not open-minded, it's going to be really tough to grow. And maybe you have to take certain courses. Maybe there's certain things that you're just lacking that you have to do. But I always feel that you can grow and you can keep developing your skills. Just getting around the right people is the most important piece to get you to that next step.
Absolutely. Here at Construction Champions, like that's what we believe. And I talk about it all the time. It's about getting around the right people. Everybody should have a mentor. Everybody should have a coach. They should have somebody that gives them honest feedback. And we should be people that are acceptable to that.
Yeah. And I can only give you some experience in my life. I was always taught growing up to do it myself. And whether that was for the sense of fulfillment and doing it yourself, it actually held me back. That advice held me back. And it wasn't until a handful of years ago, for me personally, that I started working with different people, mentors, and getting into groups like that. That just boom, like I should have done that a long time ago, but I didn't. So getting the right advice from the right people is most important. And just keeping an open mind through this whole process.
Yeah, because it's amazing how fast things can accelerate when you start hanging out or start talking to people that have been where you are before, and now they're helping you get to where they are. It's like pouring gasoline on the fire, no matter what industry you're in.
Cooking with gas.
It has a huge impact on where you get. And I'm the same way. I think it's kind of just like the industry. A lot of people that find themselves in it are the guys that just, all the ladies out there that just get stuff done by themselves. They lean on themselves to get it done, that wind up in the construction industry, the trades, blue collar, because that fits. Like it's an environment where having that mentality creates success, but at the same time, it can be a deterrent to your success long term.
Yeah, it's also depending upon what your goals are, right? So everyone's got different goals. Just, I might have a different goal than you and somebody else. So it's all perspective at that point. But people who are hungry and really want to grow and really want to develop need to attach themselves to people who have the right mindset to grow as well. And it's all in who your inner circle is.
Yeah, and you're always looking to expand that. And I say on here all the time is like you can do this locally within your areas. Like we don't have to be as combative and as at each other's throats as the industry would paint it to be. I truly believe we can really come together as a construction industry, collaborate, and do amazing things together instead of keeping stuff secretively. There's enough work out there. There's enough business. And if we really want to have an impact, we really want to start to change the mindset around the construction industry, and we want to grow this to levels that we've never seen. We have to come together and be willing to have conversations with each other about what we're doing that's working or not working. And that can be locally, it can be nationally, it can be county-wise, but it's really about just coming together and being open to the possibilities that could happen from that.
Exactly. Just, looking at the bigger picture, right? We all want the trades to succeed and to continue on. This is happening now that we don't have enough people. There is a huge gap. I mean, we want to sustain the trades. Everything we take for granted, as you know, from anything to I turn on the lights or I flush the toilets or I turn my boiler on, my AC is all, maintained by the people we take for granted. And I don't want that to go away at all. So, making sure that people are understanding what the bigger problem is and working together to solve that.
Amen to that. And I think coming together, having conversations like this is what it's all about, because this opens the mind. This is a conversation that has to happen. And the more people that get out there and think about this, the better off we are. So, Andrew, it has been absolutely great having you here today. Like I said, this is a conversation that needs to happen, and people need to be open to it and be ready for it and embrace it. So if people wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, have a conversation, see exactly what you're all about and what your company does, where's the best places for them to do that?
Yeah, so LinkedIn, I'm under Andrew Brown. I'm always on LinkedIn. I always put out a video about the skilled trades. So you can hit me up there, DM me. If you want to talk about tools and equipment, love to talk shop, or if you just want to talk about the trades and the options in the trades, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, toolfetch.com, TOOLFETCH, YouTube, we're under Toolfetch, TikTok is under Andrew L. Brown, and or just email me at andrew@toolfetch.com.
Awesome, man. Once again, thank you for being on the show today.
Appreciate it so much. Thank you.
All right, construction champions, we're at the end of another episode where we talked about amazing opportunities throughout the industry and how to prepare yourself for what's to come. Once again, we lean on mentorship and being around the right people. Why do you think this is a reoccurring theme? No, for about every guest we bring on here, they credit their success in accelerating that to getting around the right people. So like I always say, let's look in the mirror. Are you around the right people? Are you around the people that are going to take you from where you're at now to that $100 an hour opportunity? Because that opportunity is out there. You just have to go get it. You have to position yourself to be the one. And the way to do that is to get around people that are already doing it. I know guys that are out there doing it. You've listened to them on the show already. So reach out. Reach out to Andrew. Reach out to the guys that are there. Do not be afraid. Because you know what? We all want this to continue to grow. Just like Andrew just said, we want to see the trades. We want to see the construction industry thrive and continue past what it's ever been. So reach out to us. Like, that's what we're here to do, is to continue to help build the industry over and over. And, you know, construction champions, that's what it's going to be about. We have to do this together. We can't just do this on our alone. We can't just do this alone. Even though that's what our gut instinct says a lot of times, is we can get this done. We can forge through it. That's not what gets us to the ultimate win. So, construction champions, until next time, go be the champion you were meant to be. And make sure to go check out our partners that continue to bring this podcast to the forefront and leading edge of the construction industry every week. Thank you.